we go. Gwen. But the place is a mess, and I don't know where anything is. Remember, she went up to the cabin. Casey turns his horse back around, but still faces her. Casey, it will give you something to do. You're going to have a lot of time on your hands. You'll thank me later. Gwen looks mad as Casey turns away and leaves. Gwen, why wait until later? I'll thank you now. Thanks a lot. Casey waves and keeps on going. Casey, I'll come and see you. How you're doing in a week or two. All right. Interior, cabin, morning. Gwen storms back inside and throws herself on the bed. After a minute, she gets up, ties a rag on her head, and starts cleaning. There is dust everywhere, and it flies around as she coughs. Gwen, what's this? She pulls out a clipping from a newspaper that reads, "The Luna Tree, is it haunted?" Gwen reads out loud. The townspeople are ready to cut it down, but the local Indians, Native Americans, say that it is an old tree and must be protected. Gwen puts the article down and continues to clean. Interior, cabin, night. The cabin is clean and Gwen swings the door open. Gwen, that's better. The white cat is laying on the bed. Gwen looks at her. Gwen, come on, Angel, let's go outside. The cat won't move. Gwen, scaredy cat. Gwen leaves. Exterior, cabin, day. Gwen finds an axe and piles of wood that need to be chopped. She fumbles a little getting started, but starts chopping. Exterior, Aunt Barbara's house, day. Remember, this is in New Orleans. She's in New Orleans. The aunt. Barb is sitting down with Gwen's father having coffee. He is tall and slender with dark eyes. His name is Gray. Gray, what do you mean she went to the woods? What about John and the wedding? Barb puts her coffee down to speak. Barb, it's no wonder she left. It took her leaving for you to notice her at all. Gray puts his coffee down forcefully. Gray, oh Barb, not that again. I have a busy job and she doesn't need me anymore. Barb, that's not true. You can't stand to be around her because she reminds you of Nevada. That poor child has suffered the loss of 2 parents. Gray looks bewildered and starts wringing his hands. Gray, that's not true, Barb. You're not being fair. Barb reaches out to Gray. Barb, the only reason she fell for John was because he reminded her of you. And she left him because he ignores her too. And Gray starts to cry. A man cries. Gray, I don't mean to hurt her, but I'm so mad that Nevada left me. Barb holds Gray's head to her chest. Barb, Nevada didn't leave you. She died. And she couldn't help that either. They hold each other as the sun goes down. Exterior, cabin, dusk. Gwen has a big pile of wood from her labors and is resting. She pulls an apple from the tree and is eating it. She places it on the pile of wood and runs into the cabin. She comes back out with her bow and arrow. She aims and shoots at the apple. She misses but keeps on trying to hit it. Interior, dungeon, night. It's a local bar. The local bar is a bustle with people. Ted, the car shop owner, pulls a dart from the wall and hands them to Casey, who takes them and starts throwing. Casey, there's just something about her. I can't put my finger on it. Like I've seen her before, but it's more than that. Casey barely hits the board and hands them to Ted again for the darts. Ted, maybe you have. Ted hits a bullseye. Casey, it gives me the chills when you do that. What do you mean? I haven't seen her before. Not really. Ted, there are other worlds besides this one. You could have met her there. Casey takes a swig of his beer, and Ted does the same. Casey, come on, Ted. You know I don't believe in all that mumbo jumbo. Ted, well, maybe you need to believe in something other than mumbo jumbo. Ted takes the dart, closes his eyes, and throws a bullseye. Casey, okay, that's the last time I play you for money. They both laugh. Interior, Gwen's cabin, night. Gwen is sitting in front of the fireplace, writing in her journal. Gwen, voiceover. I'm starting to feel better, but I'm still a little anxious. I feel like I'm supposed to find something. What can it be? Jewels, fame, insanity, myself. I need to just relax and take deep breaths. Yeah, good idea. Gwen stops writing and takes a few deep breaths. Just then, something hits the door. Gwen is startled and grabs her bow and arrow. She heads for the door and throws it open. Gwen, who goes there? Exterior, cabin, porch, night. Gwen is on the porch outside. She is looking around and getting anxious when something flies right towards her head. She swats it down with the bow and it shoots into the post. There is a hawk that is hurt, fumbling around. Gwen, oh, look, you're hurt. Don't worry, I'll help you. She picks the bird up and takes it inside. Interior, Gwen's cabin, night. Gwen is finished tending to the bird's wounds. The firelight glows as she steps back to admire her work. The bird rests easily on the back of her chair. Gwen, there you go. You should be well in no time at all. Gwen pets his head. Gwen, now it's time for bed, my fine feathered friend. Gwen snuggles under the covers and falls asleep, looking out into the night. Interior, cabin, dream sequence, morning. Gwen is flying over the trees and passes over the infamous Luna tree. She notices that someone is in the tree waving at her. Gwen wakes up and the bird she saved is on her bed. Gwen, I guess that I need to go see this tree. The bird squawks, as if in agreement. Gwen, then it's agreed. Gwen is dressed with a backpack over her shoulder. She turns to leave, but the bird squawks. Gwen, I should say goodbye. Goodbye, friend. The bird squawks again. Gwen walks up to it and puts her hand out to it. Gwen, what's the problem, friend? The bird climbs onto her hand and then up to her shoulder. Gwen, somehow I've got this overwhelming feeling that you want to come with me. Gwen looks into the mirror with the bird on her shoulder. Gwen, you're no ordinary bird, are you? The bird squawks again. Gwen, okay then, I have my answer. She walks out the door. Exterior, walking to Luna tree. Day. Gwen is hiking through the woods for a while. She is having a rough time of it, getting cuts and scrapes. The bird stays perched on her shoulder. She comes to a crossroads. Gwen, great, which way? The bird jumps off her shoulder onto the path and walks ahead, choosing a direction on the path. Gwen, woman's best friend. She follows the bird and it jumps back up to her shoulder. They continue into the woods as they get darker and thicker. Gwen almost walks right into the huge trunk of a tree that is large and ominous. Gwen, I guess we found her. She walks around the tree, which twists into the ground like a corkscrew. Gwen, it's like nothing I've ever seen. The bird flies off her shoulder onto a boulder. She walks over to where the bird is and finds an opening to a cave. Gwen is amazed as the bird climbs back on her shoulder. Gwen, you've been here before, I imagine. She enters the cave. Interior, Luna's cave day. The walls of the cave are covered with paintings and carvings. There is a pathway that leads to a large circular opening. Around a fire pit, stones are placed for sitting, and all above it is a circular opening to the sky that is highly decorated in circular fashion. Everything looks fresh and most recently used. Gwen hears a noise. She hides as two men enter the cave. She cannot see their faces or understand what they are saying. She stays there for what seems like days and falls asleep. Interior Luna Cave, night. The cave is empty as Gwen wakes up. The bird is waiting. She walks out into the opening and sits at one of the stones. She closes her eyes and spreads out her arms. She looks up at the stars that can be seen through the opening, the great moon. Then she leaves the cave. Exterior, Luna's cave, night. Gwen heads home from the cave. 2 from the car shop. 2, the guy 2, watches her leave, then follows her to her cabin. Gwen enters her cabin. 2, TU, leaves. Exterior, Aunt Barb's house, dreamscape, day. Gwen is a little girl playing with her mother, Nevada, who has an opal ring. Gwen takes the ring and puts it on her own finger. Nevada chases after Gwen and they fall down laughing. Interior, Gwen's cabin, day. Gwen wakes up with a smile on her face and stretches in the sunlight. She grabs her towel and toothbrush and heads down to the river in her birthday suit. She jumps in and lets out a big scream. TU is standing in the woods watching. He sits back and watches as she swims. Gwen comes to the river's edge to rest. She moves her toes around in the water and notices something shimmering. She reaches for it and pulls it out. It is the ring that was her mother's. She screams again for joy and jumps all around. Gwen, I can't believe it. This can't be true. Thank you, universe. She looks up at the sky and then towards the Luna tree. She kisses the ring and puts it on. Exterior, Aunt Barb's house, dreamscape, day. Gwen's finger as a child with the ring. Gwen laughs aloud and you can hear her mother laughing with her. Exterior, Gwen cabin, day. Gwen runs into her cabin and 2 leaves, TU, and walks back into the woods. Exterior, Native American village, day. 2, TU, is walking through a group of cabins and enters one. An old Native American man is sitting down smoking a pipe. 2, it has begun with the girl, old man. Then something must be done. Exterior, Gwen's cabin, day. There is a shed near Gwen's cabin that looks like it hasn't been opened in 1,000 years. She peeks inside and it's filled with junk. She goes in. Interior, shed, day. Gwen is rooting around and finds some books in a box. She picks it up and starts to leave with it when she spots a dirt bike. She pulls it out. Exterior, Gwen, cabin, day. Gwen is working on the dirt bike. Interior, diner, day. Casey and the mayor are sitting at the counter drinking coffee. Mayor, I know that Ted and the other natives are your friends, but the people in the town say that they want the tree to go. I can't say that I like the exposure that article gave our town. You should never have let that boy live out there. I knew he was no good. The mayor sips his coffee. Casey, Mayor, the natives have protected that tree forever. We can't cut it down just because of some spooky folk's tale. The article won't do anything. Mayor, I hope for the peace of the city nothing happens. Flo comes up to them and refills their mugs. Flo, so Mayor, how's the single life? Flo winks at Casey. Mayor, Flo, you know I haven't had any luck. The mayor is overweight and balding. Flo parts what little hair he has left. Flo, what if you got a new haircut? The manager of the diner leans out from the kitchen. Manager, come on, Flo. Get to work. I don't pay you to yap. Flo picks up their plates. Flo, boy, I wish I owned this place. I'd fire his. Casey and Mayor finish up their coffee. Casey starts to head out and excuse himself to the mayor. Mayor, hey, what's happening with the girl that's out there now? Casey, I'm going to go check on her soon. I'm sure she's just fine. Mayor, I sure hope so. The mayor turns to his coffee and Casey leaves. Exterior diner, dusk. Casey steps off the porch, only to be taken over with smoke and dust from a passerby. The dust settles and Gwen is sitting there on her dirt bike. Casey, I was just about to worry about you. In vain, I see. Where did you get this? Gwen pulls off her helmet. She has her guitar strapped to her back. Gwen, I found it in the shed and I fixed it up. Casey, once again, I'm impressed. I think that bike is older than you are. Gwen puts her hand out. Gwen, come on, I'll give you a ride. Casey climbs on the back and holds onto his hat. Casey, where are we going? Gwen starts the engine. Gwen, to get a beer and play some music. They take off for the Dungeon Pub. Interior Dungeon Pub, night. Gwen and Casey are sitting in a booth having a couple of beers. The pub is dark and decorated with decor reminiscent of a long time ago. Gwen is dressed in black leather and Casey has jeans and a t-shirt. They make an odd couple in an odd place. The manager of the bar is also the bartender that looks like a biker with tattoos everywhere. Gwen, what's the story with this place? I might expect to find this in like New Orleans, but Clearwater? Casey pulls out a cigarette and offers one to Gwen. Gwen, no thanks, I quit. Casey lights up. Casey, this spiritual journey stuff seems to suit you. Gwen sips her beer. Casey, John over there, points to the bartender, used to be a Hell's Angel, but reformed to a savvy businessman. This place is the local hangout. John is really going to be happy when he owns this place outright. Gwen, and what about you? Casey, what about me? He puffs away. Gwen, what's your story? She's saying, what's your story? Casey, not much to tell. My father used to own the local hardware store. He mortgaged it when my mom got sick. I've been hauling cars ever since. I want to own my own truck company someday, but I have the debt of the store hanging over me, so maybe it won't ever happen. Gwen motions John for another beer. Gwen, maybe it will. She gets up to get her beer and brings back two beers. She sits down next to Casey instead of across from him. Casey, what's your story? I mean, besides the obvious. Gwen laughs. What's obvious about me? Gwen. No, it's Casey. You're artistic, mindful, tough, but sensitive. You love music and aren't afraid to really live. I bet you look like your mother. Gwen sips on her beer. Gwen, so much for mystery. She looks at the opal ring on her finger. Casey, oh, I forgot. Beautiful and one hell of a mechanic. Gwen smiles and sips her beer. Gwen, have you ever been out to this Luna tree? I mean, ever really looked around it? Casey, Ted's a good friend of mine. He is one of the local Native American elders. He always said that it was forbidden to walk on that land, that there was something about it. Gwen sits up interested. Gwen, oh yeah? Casey, I never go out of respect for him. Hey, have you been out there? I hope not. I never did find out what scared that boy off. Gwen, I found an article about the tree in the cabin. Casey, yes, that boy, I think his name was Todd. You know, Todd, like my first drummer. He wrote the article, and soon after he left town without telling anybody. Gwen picks up her guitar. Gwen, that's weird. Casey, you going to play a tune? Gwen, yes, if the girls show up to play. Casey, the girls? Just then, a group of girls come in the door with instruments. Casey, boy, you sure don't waste any time. One of the girls walks up. She has red hair and is carrying a drum. She is called Red. Red, I think you mean girl. She shakes Casey's hand. The other two girls, one with a guitar named Angie and the other with a bass called Max, greet Casey and head for the stage. Gwen, I hope you're gonna stay. Casey, where would I go? Gwen smiles and walks away. Red pulls her aside. Red, who's the cowboy? Gwen is tuning her guitar, trying to look busy. Gwen, he's my landlord. Red, man, he's cute. If you don't want him, you just let me know. Gwen looks mad. Gwen, I don't want anybody right now. Red, cool off, Cinderella. Nobody knows it's your glass slipper. Gwen rolls her eyes. The band is set up. Gwen comes up to the microphone. The people in the pub are still talking loudly. Gwen, into the microphone. Hello there, folks. My name is Gwendolyn. It is derived from Guinevere, which makes me the queen of this layer. So feel free to bow or throw money, whichever seems most natural to you. She points to the band who has begun to play. Gwen, these are my ladies behind me. We have Red on the drums, Angie on guitar, and Max on bass. We are your black magic women. Gwen begins to sing. Gwen is soloing out to the end of the set. The people applaud and whistle. Casey is standing up whistling too. Gwen, thank you folks, and good night. The lights go out on stage and the band starts picking up. Casey comes over to Gwen with a big grin on his face. Casey, like I said, you never cease to amaze me. That was incredible. He gives her a hug. Gwen's face is confused. I'm gonna stop this and start a new one. Beep. Boop. And